Good afternoon, my conscious co-creators. Welcome to another edition of the Conscious Consultant Hour, Awakening Humanity. I'm really glad you're all with us today. We've got a wonderful show planned out for you. I just had an amazing weekend with one of my teachers, so I am pumped about doing the show today. I hope you guys are also anxiously awaiting what we have in store for you today. And of course, as always, we're on the Facebook live stream. Please feel free to check us out. You can find us on facebook.com/talkradio.nyc. So, of course, we start off, as we always do, with our quotes of the day from the universe and from Abraham. To kick us off, let's see what the universe and Abraham have in store for us today. First, from the universe. Dreams create their own pathways if you don't try to force things. Taking action summons miracles, whether you recognize them or not. And it's never too late in the day for breakfast. Dream on, wild thing, the universe. We love our quotes of the day from the universe. And Mike Dooley in the universe, reminding us that it's never too late in the day for breakfast. I really love the universe because I love breakfast all times of the day. But also the universe, being playful with us, because we can actually learn a lot while we're being playful. And thank you for the thumbs up on the Facebook live stream. Dreams create their own pathways if we don't try and force things. We have a tendency sometimes, like we get these dreams, sometimes big dreams, bodacious dreams, but we think it has to happen a certain way at a certain time. And that's not really the way dreams work. And when we take action, miracles follow. It's often interesting. Sometimes you hear people say, "Oh, wow, did you see how lucky that guy is?" Yeah, it's amazing how lucky he is after working so hard. Because we often forget that, yes, everything follows our energy. Everything follows our dreams and our intentions and what we put out there. But part of what we put out there is the energy we put in behind our actions. So when we put action out there that's aligned with our energy and our dreams, those actions create miracles. They say, the old expression, if we take, one step towards the universe will take 20 steps towards us. When we're truly in alignment and truly embodying our hopes, our dreams, our desires, and what our life's purpose is, we don't have to kill ourselves. We don't have to go crazy with our actions. But when we do take actions, the results are amplified. And that's what happens when we first align our energy with our hopes, our dreams, our desires, and then we move from that place. The resistance is cut down so much less that even tiny actions can yield amazing results. So yes, when we take actions, they do some miracles. Sometimes we recognize them, sometimes we don't. That's where faith and trust comes in. If we trust and we believe that the universe is conspiring to help us, the universe is not conspiring against us, the universe is constantly conspiring to our favor, to help us, then the miracles will come. We may not always see them, we may not always recognize them, because sometimes in the moment, we don't see the miracles. Sometimes in the moment, we don't quite see what the implications, we don't quite see the consequences of what's going on, but a year later, 5 years later, 10 years later, all of a sudden, that action that happened 10, 15 years ago, all of a sudden we recognize how that has led us to an amazing place. So again, let's keep the faith. A wonderful quote from the universe. All right, let's see what Abraham has in store for us today. Abraham says, You are perceptual beings with different vantage points, and it does not matter how much information is given, you cannot see beyond the vibrational limits of where you are standing. You cannot live or see or experience outside of your own individual beliefs. Abraham. See, now two quotes that are very much in alignment with each other, really talking about, again, our, what we can see and what we can't see. And what Abraham is saying here is that we really can't perceive things beyond our own energetic, vibrational frequency boundaries. That we're only able to perceive things within the extent to which we are aligned with source energy, aligned with that essence that is truly us deep inside. When we focus too much on, I'm just this physical being separate from everything else here, and I'm just kind of bumping into things, and, I don't really have control over anything, and, there's all this chaos happening in the world. And the more we limit ourselves, then we can only see things up to that limitation. And it's so interesting because especially I see this in the opposite of this in the people I know who have truly had a profound experience of what it is like to be a spiritual being in a physical body. Those people who are fortunate enough to transcend the physical and truly be connected to the pure energetic source that we are. That those people, because of that connection, are really able to see things differently than most people and able to see things and perceive things beyond what we're normally able to perceive and see. And that's really what Abraham is talking about here. So, we may not feel like we're really seeing things clearly, that we're really being aware of what's going on in the subtle realms. But the more we do things like meditation, the more we develop our individual spiritual practice, the more we engage in things like shamanic rituals and mystic experiences, the more we have those kinds of experiences and perceptions in our life, the more we're able to perceive them in our lives. The more we kind of dance and play in the energetic worlds, the greater our ability to perceive what's going on in those subtle energetic worlds. Thank you so much, Alex. Glad you could join us on the Facebook live stream. Actually, let me give a little love on the Facebook live stream. Thank you, Kate, Anthony, Zena, Carla, and Alex, my dear, dear friend, for joining us on the Facebook live stream. So this is a wonderful Abraham quote about how we really can't live or see past where our beliefs really are. And I really think, if you look at people in your life who have that belief that we're more than just these physical beings, have that belief that we are interconnected, spiritual beings of light, you'll notice that they actually perceive things different. They live their life differently, and things just happen around them differently. Because the more we develop our frequency, our vibration, the more we line up with this idea that we are spiritual beings having a physical experience, the more we're able to really tune in and tap into it. It's kind of like if you're a radio receiver, right? Let's say I have an old transistor AM/FM radio receiver, but the bandwidth, I can only go from 90.1 to 100.3 on that radio receiver. Those are the only stations I'm going to be able to listen to, I'm going to be able to perceive or be aware of. But then let's say I get a newer one, and all of a sudden it goes down to 80.7 and up to 105.6. Now I've got a wider bandwidth. I can listen to more radio stations. I can hear more different types of music. I can perceive things differently. I hear things differently. So it's the same thing. It's kind of like the more limited we are in our beliefs, the more limited we are in our experiences. The more limited we are in our experiences, the more limited we are in our imagination. The more limited we are in our imagination, the more limited we are in our perception, the more limited we are in what we're able to perceive. And this is like magnified and amplified, especially when it comes to those subtle energetic and spiritual realms, more so than any other asset or facet of life. So this is why I believe so deeply why it's important to have a spiritual practice, why it's important to really engage in meditation, in spiritual studies, vibrational things, even scientific stuff. It's like the more you can understand even quantum physics and cosmology and really the study of the universe and how it's put together, like then it opens our minds up, it opens up our intellect to perceive that way as well. So yes, Alex, disciplined daily practice is so important because, again, it's called a practice for a reason. It's not something that we just do once and, that's it, I'm enlightened, how I can perceive all the spiritual realms. No, it's something that's a practice that we work on day by day by day. As a matter of fact, I was at a conference in California recently from the Evolutionary Business Council, and there was a wonderful gentleman there by the name of Daniel Gutierrez, and I'm hoping to get him on the show next time he comes to New York. And he was talking about how he was leading a group in Peru at a time that there was this massive strike and kind of a bit of an uprising in Peru. And he had this group of people that he was leading and he's responsible for. And he basically kind of told us the story of like how he got through it, but he said like he was only able to be present. He was only able to lead this group and find a solution that turned into something amazing, even though it wasn't what they expected to do, because of his practice. That by having this daily practice, whether it's meditation, qigong, yoga, exercise, whatever your daily practice is, like how that practice serves us then when we're confronted with a difficult situation. And again, this goes back to our quotes of the day from Abraham that, the more we align ourselves with that practice, the more we study and practice and meditate and seek out different points of view, different experiences, meditate with monks and meditate with gurus and meditate, with yoga teachers and meditate with healers and just all kinds of stuff to open ourselves up to these different experiences that then will help to align ourselves to a different energy, a different perception, a different vantage point in our life. So, 2 amazing and wonderful quotes of the day from the universe and from Abraham. I hope that you guys enjoyed it. Welcome, Sirve, Dennis, and Jonathan to the Facebook live stream. Glad you guys could join us. When we come back from our break, hopefully our guest will call in. We're going to try and find out where she is. So we have an amazing show lined up for you. So please stay tuned. You're listening to the Conscious Consultant Hour, Awakening Humanity, and we'll be right back after these messages.